Did you ever make a bucket list? Did you ever think that it was way too hard or even impossible to do those things you would love to do in an ideal situation? Is lack of time hindering your way, or not having the right company? Or perhaps you think it's too expensive? Ben and Oska are two young entrepreneurs whose website www.tickthebucket.org might just provide the solution by bringing bucket list enthusiasts together. Hello guys, Ashton Ali from deFUZE magazine. Today we are talking to Ben and Oscar. So tell me a bit more about how you came up with this idea.
For me, it was very much around this, this idea that people they want to do these things, but that for some reason they just choose not to. There's something that stops them from doing it. Like you meet those people every day that say, "Oh, I wish I could do that. Look at that person having so much fun. I wish I could be that person." And the reality is that it's so much easier than you think. I was one of the people that said, "Well, I wish I could do those things." And then I went to go and visit my friend over in, he was in America then, and we just had such a mad time. And it was just, I remember that experience of just being like, I wish I could be an American, and just actually doing it, and realizing that was so much easier than I ever thought it was going to be. So how can I help this experience happen for other people? And that's kind of where the idea came out of, is just making this a reality for other people, making them realize that it is that easy and that you can do it.
How do you think that it is really actually a possibility for you to just go absolutely crazy unless you're going for a nomad lifestyle?
What we've kind of found is that when you have your dreams and your aspirations, a lot of the time they don't happen because you haven't got the people around you who want to do the same things as you. And sometimes it's just a case of just realizing that like you want to swim with sharks and none of your friends do. But like when you get an email and it says like Bill from down the road who you're never going to speak to before, or that would never come up as a conversation, also wants to swim with sharks, it just becomes so much more possible because you have somebody to go with and you share the same aspirations and like dreams as that other person. And I just think that culture, that community is what's lacking and what stops people from believing things are true. Half of it is social proof, half of it is the ability to ask people advice, half of it is getting someone to join you to do these things. And we think that's the route to like making sure that people follow their dreams and make sure they realise it's a lot more achievable. That makes sense.
How does that structure of the website work?
What's going to happen very soon is that you'll type in anything you've ever wanted to do, and you'll immediately be immersed in a community of people that are saying they want to do the same thing. These people will have either done it before, or will be experts in the area, or will be just people like you that just want to do these things. Sharing information, sharing skills, and having that community feeling there to help you get over the idea that it's not possible, and help you realize that actually I can do this. And these are people that want to do these things with you. Want to make it more normal and make it seem like it's a normal thing to do these crazy things,
It's like Instagram in terms of the fact that you've got all your bucket list items, like really nice pictures, but when you click on one of those pictures, that's where it takes you to that international group of people who all have the same things. So everyone's lists are unique to them, but the items when you click into it is just a hub of like bucket list enthusiasts.
It's cool to have an idea and a dream, but getting from that stage to where you make it into a reality, that is a harder part. So how did you go through that process?
Yeah, I mean, it's every day it's been difficult, and I don't think we're anywhere near there yet. There's just a lot more unknowns with what we're trying to do. So coming up with the concept and coming up with those steps has been a very difficult process. I would say it's been really hard to iron it out and trying to get to where we are now. But I think we're getting somewhere. I think we've got a lot more structure to it now.
Did you get any sort of help, or did you come across any organization who work, to help startup businesses?
I mean, the startup community itself is really helpful. So we used to go to lots and lots of networking events and stuff like that. And the contacts we got from that have been very useful. They've been people who were like 3 or 4 months ahead of us in their story or something like that. Just asking them these questions and then trying to give that back to people in the community as well. That's been really helpful, and that's made a big difference, I think. So we've got mentors as well. So one of my mentors is a C-suite marketing director. So he's for one of the big companies, and he's really helping us out and sort of guiding us through things, which is really good.
That's a very good point you pointed out, that you got a mentor who's a very successful guy, and sometimes you really need to know the ropes, someone to show you the way. How did you get that? Was it your personal contacts, or was it some platform that helped you to get a mentor?
With that, it was actually at an event. I kept asking questions, and so they said, at the end they were like, we're giving out mentoring sessions to people, and we like to give them to people who are engaged and helping the conversation go. So they gave me one because I kept asking lots of questions. I thought I was being annoying and interrupting, but worked out well for me because we did one session, and he was like, I'm happy to carry on mentoring you if you're interested in it. So that's led on really well, and I was really supportive of the business. We really want to get him more and more involved in it, which is pretty exciting.
How do you distribute responsibilities? Do you have different sets of responsibilities?
Yeah, I mean, again, that's another thing that we've very much learned along the way.
I do a lot of the creative side, which is a lot of like the brand creating stuff, and like a lot of the events and like finding speakers, the one where we met you. A lot of that's the work that I'm doing, especially like we're going to be doing a lot of content like in the future, because we want to find out like from the best people in the world how to do all these bucket list activities, asking experts, telling us like their tips and tricks. So that's going to be a big thing, a lot of content work creation for the future.
So I take care of the other side of it basically. So anything that basically anything that's kind of a pain and needs to be done that he won't have the attention for, the attention to detail, I'll pick up essentially. The way I see my role is just to provide the company as a whole with whatever resources it needs. So wherever that sits, I'll just jump in there and try and get that done.
Like he personally runs like all of our finances, all of our legal, like these are very sophisticated business things to do. And I, as he says, like I don't have the attention span for it.
What was the biggest lesson you learned throughout this process?
I think when I was growing up, like I would think that even like you'd have to be at least 35, 40, 50 before you can like really make a company and really forge your own career. And I've just been shocked at like the doors that are open if you've got the drive and you want to make your company or business happen and you keep going with it. But it's exciting, but it's the biggest lesson I've learned. So like that anything is possible.
I think I was realizing actually the other day, it's just about the constant reminders and just validating the idea that genuinely the more that you try and provide to other people, the more that you're giving out there, then the more it just accidentally returns. It's like the guy that works in the security down here actually, he's the smiliest guy. And I realized the other day, when I say goodbye to him, I'm always really smiley. So like imagine how he sees the world. Like everyone's really smiley at him because he's smiling at them. And I just keep getting reminders of that. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I've learned in the last year and a half, I would say.
One interesting thing that I didn't ask you was that what is on top of your bucket list?
Cool. Yeah. One of my big ones is, have you heard of the rickshaw run? Basically there's a company called The Adventurous that you can do a rickshaw run and you drive from north to south India in a tuk-tuk.
Okay.
And it's literally, it's like 7 horsepower or something like that. And you go and there's like 2,000 people that do it. And you just drive this whole route through the whole of India over a course of a month, just for the sake of it. And it just sounds hilarious and just so interesting, such a wonderful, like, diverse experience and so many cultures that you'll see along the way.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest ones on my bucket list. Well, do you know Burning Man?
Oh, it's this festival in the middle of the Nevada.
Nevada Desert.
Middle of the Nevada Desert in like the salt flats, and like, everyone just drives into the middle of the desert. And there's supposed to be like no law, no money, and everyone just like sets up there and they build like huge temples out of wood. And at the end of the festival, everyone burns them down. There's like 70,000 people like in the middle of the desert. They will make like a big circle in the middle of the desert with their camper van.
Wow.
And like there's all like neon lights and everyone just walks around like naked and with like big fluffy coats on and like cycles around, and like there's no cars or anything, so everyone's like on the bikes cycling from like around the festival because it's all flat.
Wow.
Sounds like excellent, man. I really want to go. I think it's going to be one of those things on a lot of people's bucket list. Burning Man.
Yeah, they're on my bucket list now, both of them.
Oh yeah, dude, that's amazing.
So your website, the proper website, by the time is it going to be finished? Thomas?
So first half in January, you'll be able to list all your bucket list items and sort of make changes to them beginning of January, and then beginning of February you'll be able to do everything else. So it's like 2-stage release,
Yeah, so we start doing interviews as of January 1st. We're going to start reaching out to people from across the internet who are like our leading influencers in a specific talent. So like if they're a surfer, or if they're a skier, or if they're a diver, like I'm kind of like looking far and wide for anybody who I can interview who can like give me tips that I can like build into the website. So when you want to do these things, we've got the interviews from all of these leading people who then can give you the best advice on how to do it. And that process is going to start because we want to do it on bulk and we want to get lots and lots and lots of people so we've got the best information. So that's going to be a huge project in itself, like reaching out to people, having those conversations, interviewing them, and we want to get like 5 5 professionals for 30 different bucket list items every month. So by the end of the year we'll have 360 bucket list items. We'll have like 5 leading professionals in each one. And then that's the plan. And I just think that'll be really exciting as well.
Well guys, thank you so much. Wish you all the best of luck. So what is your website called again, if you would like to tell our viewers so they can check you out?
Yeah, www.takethebucket.org.
Yeah. Go check it out and do subscribe to us. Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you guys.
No, thank you.
And all the best.
Alright, enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Thank you.